What do you get when you mix the desire for technical perfection with the versatility of a three-way carry? The Black Ember Forge 20-liter three-way. Welcome back to another review by Dave Sam. I'm your boy Dave Sam. Today we are taking a look at the Forge from Black Ember. Before I jump into the Forge, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Black Ember for sending it to me upon my request. Black Ember's always been good to the channel, always provides me with stuff. That being said, this is going to be a video of my own opinions. This bag is fantastic, but it isn't perfect, and we do have a couple of things to discuss. So without further ado, let's jump in. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Black Ember, I would recommend checking out one of my previous videos that is related to Black Ember. You can hear more about their history, the materials they use, how they got started. For this video, because I've done a couple of features on them, I am going to skip over some of that stuff and dive right into the Forge. Like I mentioned, this is the Forge 20-liter edition. If you are familiar with the Forge, it started out as a 30-liter expandable bag, has about 10 liters of expandable storage. This 20-liter version is slightly smaller, of course. It is 10 liters smaller, but is also expandable up to 30 liters. If you are familiar with Black Ember, you know they use this proprietary material here. They call it like a hex-clad material of some kind. The material is remarkably water resistant. I've been caught in a lot with this at this point. I've been testing it for about 30 days, a little more than 30 days at this point. Been caught in a couple of serious downpours in Chicago, as well as traveling with this. And I've also taken this on a few one-bag travel trips. Whew, is it good to use? Really weather resistant, has this fantastic material. Also has AquaGuard zips across all of the zippers except for the expansion zippers, the only zipper that is an exception here. But functionally, everything that you want to keep inside the bag, everything that you travel with, will remain very dry, very clean. Sticking to the outside of the bag, we're going to start with a couple of things that I absolutely love. First and foremost, go to the back. This harness system is incredibly comfortable. There is a good amount of rigidity on this back paneling, so you do feel that a little bit, but it is quite nice. Though it's not super soft or gel material, it does, as you're carrying, if it's heavier and heavier, right, it does form fit to your back over a period of time, right, or form fit to your back slowly. Almost like a Birkenstock shoe, almost like that cork material. It's not that it immediately form fits. It's that over a little bit of time, it starts to feel like it is forming to your back. So really cool, really innovative material. And then, of course, they use their standard shoulder straps that have this contour to them, which is fantastic when you're wearing the backpack. So this is what it's like on me. And as you can see, because of the contoured straps, right, it reaches in over my chest here and then pulls back out. Nicer than the ones that go straight down. When they go straight down, they start to encroach on the underarms and the armpits, start to give you that chafing feel. These contoured designs are often far more comfortable. So this is what it looks like on me. I'm about 6 foot, 195. I'm about 6 foot, 195. And you can see bag sits very comfortably. It is pretty much fully packed out at the moment. Ugh. Now, one of my favorite parts about these straps is actually they are hideable, so you don't always have to use them. If you are trying to look a little more professional, right, you want to carry something that looks a little more like a duffel or like a hand side bag or like a side carry bag, right? You can absolutely do that. Put it in, let's call it incognito mode. Now, the second thing that I love, and we're going to move into the bag now. Second thing that I love is this laptop compartment. So it's this one all the way at the back here, right? We've got two other compartments. This laptop compartment is enormous though. As you can see, I've got a laptop and a tablet and still have room for additional items in here. Now, this laptop is no small laptop, right? It is a 16-inch MacBook Pro, so it is big, it's beefy, 3.5 pounds or so, 16-inch width. So it is a fairly large laptop. Tablet, also really wide. This is a 14-inch wide tablet, right? So I wanted to put these in to show exactly how much volume it could take up, but it just holds any piece of tech you're throwing at it basically, which is fantastic. A lot of these bags, especially in the 20-liter size, don't necessarily accommodate a 16-inch MacBook or a 16-inch laptop. So being able to not only accommodate that, but throw something else that's almost the same size, takes up roughly a good amount of the same footprint here, as you can see, right? Being able to fit 2 of these items into this pocket, just absolutely spectacular. Now, the next thing that I love, and I think this is something that only Black Ember does, I haven't quite come across it, at least in this way, from any other company. I have seen a handful of other implementations of it in slightly different ways. Peak Design does something similar. I think Boundary does something similar. A couple of other bag companies that are doing similar things. But one of my favorite features, and this is a thing they don't always quite advertise, all right, is how these zippers actually function and lock. So a little bit, right? If we see the zipper pull, it's got this little hole here, and it comes in to this zipper holder, if you will, right at the edge here. Now what's nice, you see this other hole in the zipper holder. If we take the bottom part of our zipper pull here, push it through that hole and pull, we see that that original hole I was talking about shrinks and fits inside the holder hole. That's a really silly technical explanation for what's functionally a zipper lock. It holds your zipper in just enough to where if somebody was tugging on it or if somebody were to pull it, right, they wouldn't necessarily be able to, right? It can move the whole bag and it's still in that secure spot, in that locked spot. So really awesome innovation, very simple thing to add to your bags that increases the security significantly, right? So this is a laptop compartment. On the front compartment, this is even more critical, right? Because you're wearing this on your back. This front compartment is just exposed to the world, if you will. So if you don't lock it, somebody with a lot of patience, right, as you're walking, could just give you one of these little zips. Then they've got pretty full access to this open compartment here, which might have your wallet, your keys, your other kind of quick access items. So this compartment in particular, awesome to have this locking zip mechanism. So now you can see, right, it's not that easy to just pull out. It takes the whole bag with it. It is a, again, beautiful, simple implementation of something. It is something that increases the security of the bag significantly via a very simple implementation, which I love, of course. Moving on to the next thing that I love, these grab handles. And honestly, oftentimes with Black Ember, they have this as part of their implementation, right? These 2 grab handles on the top, they are nice and thick, beefy. They're a little bit padded. They have that seatbelt weave material here. So nice and soft, easy to rub your hands against. And the edges are fairly rounded, right? They don't feel that tough on the edge. So being able to hold this for extended periods of time does not feel bad. And then again, functionally, it's a 3-way carry. So this is one of the ways that you might want to carry it. I've already shown you guys the backpack way. These are removable as well. So I can go into, show it on the back side here. I can go in behind here. You can see exactly where those are clipped in, and I can functionally just remove them. I can functionally remove them as needed. So not super hard to do, not super like easy to take them off necessarily, right? But it is nice that they're just removable, that if you don't want them to be in the way, that they don't have to be in the way if carrying it by hand or as like a duffel is not really your preferred method of carry. All right, and last thing on the love list before we get to some of the cons or some of the things that you might want to worry about or think about as you're buying this bag, like I mentioned at the beginning, it is expandable. So right now, even though I do have like 3 or 4 days worth of clothes in here, I've got my laptop and other carry kits in here, I've got headphones and a few other things, some of my daily carry items, right? I've still actually not even used the expansion. So the expansion right here, like I mentioned, this is the only zipper that is not AquaGuard sealed, but that's all right. You can keep this zipper hidden if you want, but I kept the expansion closed here. With this expansion, right, you can functionally add what would be like another 10 liters to the bag here. So all of this variation, right, is all of that from that expansion. This changes the game for this bag, right? You can fill this up. I've taken this on multiple day work trips, extra pair of shoes, toiletries, 3 or 4 days worth of clothing, plus all my tech gear, right? So even though it says it's a 30-liter bag, with this expansion, it carries like a much, much larger bag. And just to show you all, right? Like I go in here right now, I haven't even used kind of like every pocket. There are just so many pockets, right? I have 4 days worth of stuff stuffed in here. I've got a little camera in here. Still got extra room. This is when, again, with the expansion, I have plenty of room for additional clothing. I could put workout gear in here, extra pair of shoes, like name it. I've got a couple of extra items that I could easily fit in here. If you're using this for your daily carry bag and this extra compartment here for, you know, your gym clothes or something, again, where you just have like one extra pair of clothing, this is a just truly fantastic bag. So versatile, gives you so much ability to carry extra things, carry the tech that you need, and keep it all secure. It is so fun and so cool to use. Like, honestly, this has become one of my more favorite bags in the time that I've gotten to use it. Ever since the Forge came out, I kind of wanted one, but I never thought I would use it in that way or use all the functionality. Now that I have one, especially this 20-liter one, it's hard to put away. It's hard to not use and move on to some of the other bags that I have to review and think through. While it's open here, I'll just show the rest of the interior of this bag, right? So we just saw the inside where I keep clothes. You've got one huge compartment here. A lot of times I'll put like underwear and socks in this compartment, depending on how full that other compartment is. And then we move over to this side. We're gonna start on, you know, it's obviously great. There's lots of huge compartments here. I've got headphones and a little tech kit in here, right? Batteries and other things. Then there's 2 slip pockets in here. Then there are also 2 zippered compartments in here that kind of into these mesh containers or these mesh slips. Now, we're gonna get into a couple of things that I just don't love about this bag. One of them you just saw. Love this front compartment here, this one that has all the different pockets. It is very thoughtful in the way that it's put together when you are designing a bag. When you're actually using the bag though, sadly, there's just not enough dimension across each of these pockets to use them all effectively. If you were to use all these pockets, you would never be able to close the bag, especially because you're going to have quick items in here, which I don't have a lot of at the moment. There are so many items you end up putting in this front pocket because it's basically your only quick access pocket. That's problem number 2. This is your only quick access pocket. I think it's a little bit tough to use all this unless I've got a couple of big items in here, right? So they're taking up a little extra volume. But even if you don't have those big items in here, let's say you put in cables and, you know, their knickknacks, batteries and other things in these pockets, you run into problem number 2 now. And let me just show that. Okay, number 2. This is a 3-way bag, right? So like I mentioned, you're carrying it by the grab handles. You are using the shoulder strap to carry it like a duffel of some kind. It is prioritized or designed to prioritize carrying it sideways like this, right? And so everything falls to the bottom in this orientation, right? Falls just to the bottom, if you will. They've tried to distribute via pockets, but you know, so much you can do. I do understand this one in particular. This is a gripe that is a little nitpicky because you have the versatility of the 3-way carry that you don't get with most bags. But because you add that versatility, again, everything falls in this sideways orientation. So if you're somebody like me who prefers to carry it as a backpack, only uses these alternatives every once in a while, you actually feel that everything starts to stack up on this side, and this side feels a little emptier, right? You almost have to like try to offset like your clothes or something on this side in those compartments that offer that, where things won't move as much, just so you can offset all the things that you might try to put in this front flap that has 10 pockets in it that you're trying to use for distribution. But then again, functionally, everything falls to the bottom. So I wouldn't say that that's a miss. It's just more something that you need to be aware of if you are going to buy a Forge. just consider that one side in backpack mode will almost certainly be like considerably heavier than the other side, just depending on what you're putting in it, right? So it just has that kind of lopsided feeling, and there's no way to offset that with a water bottle or something on the outside. Now, last thing, and this is again a very small gripe, I would just say having this huge pocket on the front, beautiful pocket. I love using this pocket, just to be clear. Having it be the only quick access or the only place to put quick access items, like my wallet, my keys, my phone, anything that I could think of like that I might put in my pockets. I would love if there was a different one, right? Like if there was just some alternative that was much smaller that just fit my phone and my wallet, or my phone and, you know, my key, whatever it is, and left this more for tech, random carry items, notebooks, you know, glasses, sunnies, you know, anything else that would be more of a random carry item that I do want in a quick access pocket. I do want to be able to grab, but I don't want it to be the one pocket that has the stuff I'm going to use super regularly. Again, like my phone, my keys, or my wallet. I would love if they could put that pocket somewhere else on here. I think that there's some room. Again, as you all know, I'm not a designer. I'm more of a critic, which I'm sure people hate, but one day I'm sure I'll get into design or something like that. But love this bag. It has been my main daily driver for roughly the last 30 days, not because I've been just desperately testing every nook and cranny, which I have been, but because it is fantastic to use, even with the couple of gripes that I've mentioned. You learn to kind of work around them, and the positives far, far outweigh the negatives for the Forge. Let me know what you think of the Forge in the comments below, and you know, let me know if there are other 3-way or 2-way bags that you've discovered that really meet your daily needs or your travel needs. I'd love to kind of compare and contrast with the Forge. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, get notified of all the new videos from your boy. I will be coming out with them as often as possible. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.